teleport? I thought I was gonna hit that. Oh, it goes through. I'd survive this drop, right? The answer was no. I would not survive that drop. Oh my god, yeah. I need to take care of those white guys. Let's do so much damage.
Egg goo spoo Roshan. If this misses I am going to be so mad. I want to taste the speedy salt. Also give speedy head pats.
This is fine. This is great. DBD community, I'm sorry that the very first killer that I got adept on is Skull Merchant. I apologize. I hate this tree so much. Oh, that is a big slime. Ah, 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 ah. Ah! 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 It's so fast! Why is it so fast? Okay. Gee.
What a nice village. A shame if you damaged it.
Damn it, gun. Oh. Of course there's going to be a tactical nuke. I can find another bed. I do not get the button input for this game at all. Like, it just takes inputs from 2 or 3 seconds ago and then decides to use them. Roll! I'm not pushing roll anymore. Got our little house for our bees. Thank you so much, Silver, for gifting out a sub. Destroying the house before Gun could get to it. Ow. Please, dragon. I just want to leave. I just want to leave. I was hoping that I would have been able to jump the gap. I was not paying attention. Not realized. Both here, probably. Why am I drinking? I got hit by nothing. Happens. Yep. Okay. Gonna get hit by invisible attacks. Hey everyone, how are we doing today? We are about to check out the DBD 9th anniversary stream. This happened earlier today, but I was working, so I wasn't able to see it. So I'm going to watch it now and give my first reactions. But before we do that, let's take a quick look at chat. We got Tachi coming in hot the first. Congrats on snagging that, Tachi. And congrats on 37 months of being subscribed to the channel. Thank you so much for the support, Tachi. Really do appreciate it. 37 months, that's crazy. And Gunhog's also here. Welcome in, Gun. But let's take a look at this. Should be starting fairly soon. I think I got pretty much when it starts up. Now, I'm pretty sure they'll probably be mentioning Springtrap and everything.
Hey,
We're here.
In this.
We're back.
We're back. We're
back.
here. We're live in Montreal. We're live in our studio, in our brand new studio. In the studio.
New studio. Who this?
Who
right?
dat?
Who that palette?
That is a palette. That is also a coffee table.
It's got coasters.
You know, you recognize this, but also not a picture frame. That is actually a video screen. We're not going to make use of it today because we literally just got it installed. Streams in the future. We're going to be having a lot of fun with a lot of these. They look like static picture frames, but really excited for us to have this as a resource here in our own studio in Montreal so we can do more stuff here, including videos that you do all the time, interviews, whatever. So yes, hello, welcome. There are a lot of you out there. Thank you for joining us. This is actually our second live stream of the month of May. Earlier, we were at PAX East in Boston, where also a bunch of people showed up in person, which was an incredible delight to meet so many people I only knew as online names, and to ham it up in front of a live audience was pretty fun. So we just wanted to say thank you for that. That you know, was our first big live event in a long time, and y'all showed up. So hopefully that means we can do more. And the only negative of that event, we were not joined by Dork.
Yes.
Due to visa issues.
Yeah, it was really sad to be watching from the sidelines, but the hype in that room was electric. So, like, even being at home, just rooting you guys, that was just amazing. So I truly hope that maybe in the future I'll be able to meet you guys in person. But for now, let's get into today's live stream, which we're talking about part 2 of our anniversary live stream with the Dead by Daylight Five Nights at Freddy's official live stream. And today, especially at PAX, you guys got a little taste about what was coming with this chapter, but now we're going to be talking about the map, the new gameplay, and the anniversary event, which is right around the corner.
We just gave them an app, and now they're getting the full pizza.
Yeah, the new full pizza.
So if you are new to Dead by Daylight, which I suspect some of you are, there are a lot of people here. I'm looking at the wrong camera. Hello, camera 2. If you're new to Dead by Daylight, I just want to quickly explain what's going on today. We're doing our stream, obviously, and generally we try to do these when we have either a release of the full chapter or, as is the case today, a PTB. If you don't know what PTB is, public test battle,
Beta.
who flipping knows? What it is a test tool for us on the development team. Truly, it's a chance for us to get the build out early, find some rough edges, anything that might not be working, and get it up to gear, up to snuff for the full release, which is coming on June 17th. So I just wanted to set the stage for you in case you didn't know what PTB is, because we'll mention it a few times. But that is planned to go live as soon as we wrap up the show here today, if we time it perfectly. So stay tuned. All right, so Five Nights at Freddy's is our most requested chapter of all time. You have wanted this for a long time. FNAF fans have wanted it for a long time. DVD fans have wanted it for a long time. I have wanted it for a long time. Now it's actually happening. So let's not delay any longer. We'll show you what's coming in the show today with the run of show. So we're going to kick things off with a segment that you've been waiting for, Five Nights at Freddy's gameplay, playing as Springtrap. And helping us out, we're going to have Jason Guzzo back with us to talk about Springtrap's gameplay, but also the Freddy Fazbear's Pizza map.
Yes, and then next I'll be joined on the couch with Justin Banks, who's going to break down
Tachi,
this
Springtrap's coming.
anniversary event and show us everything that's going to be happening for this last Twisted Masquerade. Then we'll have
it's not going right now for the anniversary. They'll probably be announcing it in this
team, who's going to be running
stream.
through the latest collections that'll be rolling into the fog here in a couple of months. And then after that, Eric and I will be back on the couch to talk about the Dead by Daylight Creator Program, which I know a lot of our content creators out there are at the edge of their seats waiting to hear news about, so stay tuned.
And we also have another thing to share with you that is new. Maybe you saw it in your news yesterday in the game. Little spoiler. We're going to be talking about the extremely cool new Dead by Daylight stats tracker that's coming up. We're going to be able to look at your in-game stats and progress as you play.
Love numbers.
Yes, I cannot wait to see how many times I've died. After that, well, obviously, it's going to be wouldn't be a Dead by Daylight live stream without having some Twitch drops. And we're going to have 3 amazing Twitch drops for players
Heck yeah,
to
we got
go ahead and
drops.
redeem on Twitch. So make sure you're looking at the Twitch chat or looking at the QR code to go ahead and make sure you're linking your behavior account so that you're not missing it. It starts today up until June 10th, but maybe, Eric, you want to tell us what we're going to get?
I do, although I don't know that it matches what's in the image. So we have 3 drops for you, but actually the first drop is a combo. You're going to get blood points as well as a smiling clown badge. Sorry, I don't. What I have written down versus what's in that image are not the same thing. So we're going to learn together. What we get. Smiling clown badge, 200,000 blood points bundled together for watching 1 hour, a Clown Den banner for watching 3 hours, and a pin the tail on the Maurice charm for anyone who accumulates 6 hours of watch time. Oh, Maurice, how I miss thee.
I miss him. I have to do my little head pats at the map.
I know. I hope he returns to us soon. Before we dive in, one last thing we did want to mention if you've been around for a few weeks. We're running a charity program at the moment, which I've been so psyched about, tied to Aurella's release. And it has already, well, it's finished, but it has over $200,000.
Oh my God.
And that's before the multiplier that we're still calculating right now. So thank you to everyone who contributed to that charity. It's going to a really great cause, the Saint Justine Foundation here in Montreal, to help kids and their moms. So thank you. We'll announce the final number when we have it from the numbers people, but it is well over $200,000, so crazy.
That's a lot of money.
Okay, without further ado, let's talk about Five Nights at Freddy's, playing as Springtrap, and bring out our dear friend Jay Guzzo, the killer's designer. Whoa! I was waiting for Jay to tell us when we're ready, but we're live. See, we told you it's live. You didn't believe us. Okay, so hi, Jay.
Hi.
So from the time that we announced that Five Nights at Freddy's was coming to Dead by Daylight, obviously the excitement has been off the charts for Five Nights at Freddy's fans, for DBD fans, for myself, maybe you, and you know, people are speculating. Who's the killer going to be? Are we going to get a map, et cetera, et cetera? We answered those things in a high-level way at PAX a few weeks ago. Indeed, we will have a killer, Springtrap. For the first time ever, you get to play as Springtrap instead of be terrorized by Springtrap. Well, if you're a survivor, you'll still be terrorized. And also, we'll be bringing a new map. So Jay has come here to join us.
Woody now?
And if you have watched streams before, you would know Jay from such hits as Chucky and also Dracula. Jay is the killer designer on both of those, as well as Springtrap. So how are you doing?
I'm doing great, and I'm excited to be here.
I'm also excited for you to be here,
Oh.
Jay. So let's get into it. So as I mentioned, you worked on some pretty iconic licenses already. So when you were assigned Five Nights at Freddy's, what was it like when you first started working on that chapter?
It was really interesting. I didn't have a lot of experience with it. Excuse me, my throats are a little dry today. I was obviously aware of it. I mean, everybody is. It's become so iconic in such a short period of time. But I'm going to be honest, I didn't really realize how kind of deep the lore and the story went before I started kind of looking into this chapter. So it's been cool, and like the story is way more horrifying than I ever thought it would be, to be honest.
Oh yes, despite how cute it is, very horrifying. And actually, I think that's a very initial common ground DBD fans and FNAF fans will have. Deep lore on both games, much more than you'd expect. And once you dig in, it's really cool stuff, and it goes, like you said, it goes places.
Yeah.
So I guess the way you mentioned it, sounds like you had to do a lot of research to get up to speed.
Yeah, for sure. You know, one of my favorite things about doing licenses like this is they give me an excuse, I guess, a reason to become like a real big nerd about one specific franchise or IP, and that's always amazing. You know, Chucky, I got to watch all the movies, and Dracula, we played the games and watched stuff. So this one, I did the same thing. I jumped in. My main thing was YouTube and Twitch, watching streams. I watched 60 to 70 hours of content of some of the more popular streamers, I guess we can say. All through all the games, including the VR stuff and things, you know, not just to see the games and how they played, but also the players, how they react, the community, how they react, getting the inspiration for the experience of FNAF and Five Nights at Freddy's, excuse me.
Yeah, and I think that's a really special thing. You didn't just tackle it from a mechanics point of view. You wanted to understand the community. You wanted to understand the players, make them feel as welcome in DBD as possible. Dead by Daylight, sorry. No, we're going to be doing this a lot. It's just quicker to use acronyms. So I think that's a great touch. So any surprises you found along the way as you were doing that?
Yeah, I mean, this won't be a surprise to most people, but it was to me, was, like I said, just how passionate the community is. They're like you said, it's very similar to DBD in that respect of like very passionate fans and very passionate community. People who kind of, they watch the trailers and they watch gameplay and they pixel peep. Oh, yeah. And they kind of start stringing things together, and I imagine there's at least a few Five Nights fans with like the boards with pictures and the string all over them.
Yes, which Jay, you're kind of famous for with Dracula. Hand drew some meme-worthy art, so maybe we'll have some more. Yeah. But yeah, they're probably picking apart our outfits as we speak. Like, what does it mean? I just wanted people to see my cool new mint-colored shoes. That's all.
I just wanted people to see. I don't know if I can show it. My daughter bought me Freddy Fazbear socks for Christmas.
Got Freddy on the feet. Yeah. Likewise, my son gave me his Freddy plush for good luck today. So we are loving it over here. So before we jump into the gameplay, why don't you tell us about how you started to approach the design of Springtrap?
Yeah, it was a really interesting one because obviously, if you know both games, gameplay-wise, they're pretty diametrically opposed. Five Nights at Freddy's is really about sitting still. You manage resources, particularly the battery, and try not to get killed. Whereas DBD is all about moving around, doing the gens. If you sit still, you're gonna get yourself killed.
Not a good strategy.
It's not a great idea. So it really became about kind of nailing down what the quintessential Five Nights at Freddy's experience is. Things like the security office, the battery power, all those amazing jump scares,
Yes.
and just kind of figuring out how to adapt that into the context of DBD.
Perfect. So with that transition, let's get into Springtrap specifically and his gameplay.
Yeah. So one of the goals for Springtrap was to figure out how to lean into those jump scares, which are kind of the thing about the Five Nights at Freddy's games, right? Without making him just a straight up stealth killer, which was something we wanted to avoid. So I had this idea of doing something that we'd never really tried before, where we focus Springtrap kind of as a grab-based killer, because we have grabs in DBD. They are inherently jump scares into themselves. It's right there. So we just kind of leaned into that and gave him more of those opportunities.
There he is right there on screen.
There
by the
he
way.
is, yeah.
I think we even have another one of him doing a little bit of a grab.
Yeah.
Yes.
And we gave him a pretty unique projectile, which is really cool. So Springtrap has 2 weapons. I get to finally announce. I know the community have been talking about it. So he has a large pizza knife as his main weapon, and a heavy fire axe as his power.
Oh, the fire axe. So let's talk about the axe. How do you use the
Interesting.
axe? How's it different from projectiles that other characters in Dead by Daylight use?
Yeah, so it's a very unique. It's not going to play like any other projectile killer that you've tried before. We wanted to do something a little bit interesting with it. So if you throw the axe and it hits something in the environment, whether it's a missed shot or it's deliberate, it creates an AoE that lasts about 15 seconds. And if a survivor walks through it, you get killer instinct on them for a short period of time. If you hit a survivor with it, kind of gets lodged in their back while you're chasing.
Kind of have an axe lodged in your back.
Just a
No
little
big
bit.
deal.
So they can remove it manually, or they can do it quicker in co-op with another survivor. As Springtrap, you can also retrieve it yourself. If you get in close, you can skip kind of the steps of downing the survivor and picking them up. You get in close to a survivor that has the axe embedded in them. You click the button, you grab the axe and the survivor at the same time. You get a cool little jump scare, and then you're carrying them on your shoulder. A couple of little notes. One of them is
Interesting.
while you have your projectile available, you move at 4.4 meters per second. There he is.
There's a little glimpse of some jump scare action.
But once you've thrown the axe, you actually move at 4.6 meters per second. It's something that we've never really done base kit for a killer. It makes for some really interesting tactical choices, meaning that you have to recall the axe manually. It never comes back to you automatically unless you throw it out of the map, because you can make a mistake. But yeah, as long as it's in the environment or in a survivor or whatever it is, you have to manually recall it.
So it lightens his load a little bit, makes him a bit faster.
Exactly.
Perfect. So that brings us to another unique part of his gameplay, and I think super iconic to Five Nights at Freddy's, the security office. So let's get into that.
Yeah. So it was really important for us to give the killer and the survivor a really kind of interesting shared experience in that space, which allowed us to also lean into the jump scares.
Yeah, I'm not sure,
And
Tashi.
some
We'll
of the
see.
ways we came up with was to introduce the security office, which is part of any trial that Springtrap is the killer. It's part of his power, but it acts as kind of a transitionary space. So we have 7 doors that appear randomly around the map at chest spawns, and these can be used by survivors or killers to teleport around the map.
Yeah, there be a door.
There it is. And survivors can also use them for surveillance. So as a survivor, you interact with the door. It brings up the camera view. You'll get the kind of iconic map view in the bottom right of all the different cameras. On the bottom left, you'll see your battery power, which we'll talk about in a second. You can see what's going on in the other doors. You can switch between doors. If you see something that, if it looks safe on the other end, you press the button, your character goes into the security office, and then it's kind of like a hands-off, almost like a theme park experience where you see this first-person view going through the office, which is really cool.
And one thing you mentioned, again, just in case we have new folks
Interesting.
playing, regardless of what map you're playing on, this
Yes.
functionality, the security room will be there as long as Springtrap is the killer in the match.
Yeah, exactly. And as a survivor, if you happen to see Springtrap through a camera, if you train your camera on him for a few seconds, he'll be revealed for a little bit for the whole survivor team.
Nice.
Oh, interesting.
And what about if, like, What if Springtrap goes in at the same time as a survivor goes in at a different door and they meet?
Yeah, so since they can both use the doors in the security office, we wanted to make sure that there was an opportunity for that interaction. So if a survivor is moving through that space from one door to the other, and Springtrap, excuse me, chooses one of those two doors, whether the one they're coming from or the one they're going to, he'll interrupt them in the security office for a fun little surprise.
Ooh. Awesome. I love all the little touches that the team has planted in there like that. I think the fans are really going to love it, including this. You mentioned the battery. Managing the battery is part of this as well. So how's that work in DBD?
Yeah, so survivors share a universal battery. It's shared amongst all of them. It drains a little bit, kind of ticks down per second while you're using the cameras. We didn't want players to just be the man in the chair and just sitting there and telling all their friends. So it drains a little bit. Using the teleporter to move around the map takes off a big old chunk in one shot. And then you have to kind of manage that battery as a team. It slowly recharges on its own over time, but you have to kind of manage when and where you're using it. If the battery does run out, the security system, which is kind of the doors, the cameras, the office, goes into shutdown mode for 45 seconds. But Springtrap is not affected by the battery. So if the survivors have kind of overplayed their hand and they shut the security office down, they've kind of given up their one bit of power in this chapter, and Springtrap can still use the doors and bounce around.
Oh,
and do whatever
dangerous.
he wants.
Dangerous.
Interesting.
Fantastic. But what about disabling the doors?
Yes. So to go back to the axe, if the killer hits either a camera or a door, the whole thing, with their axe, that door and the camera becomes unavailable to survivors. They can't use it to teleport away, they can't teleport to that door, and they can't see through the camera that's been disabled.
Got it.
When the killer retrieves it, that effect lingers a little bit. It becomes a really cool way of like, I need to scope this area out, but I don't want to be revealed or seen. You can disable the door, move around, use it to fake the survivors out.
Got it. But it's not permanent. The door can be used again after the axe has been retrieved. Cool.
Unless it's in shutdown, which means the survivors can't use it anyway.
Right. Cool. Okay. So speaking about moving around the map, which it sounds like we have a new exciting way to do that. One of the coolest things about the chapter, in fact, is the map. Freddy Fazbear's Pizza is now a new map, a new level within Dead by Daylight for DBD fans, specifically in the Withered Isle realm. So what can you tell us about the map?
Yeah, so the art team and the level design team, much like me, they did a ton of research. And like, I don't say this just because we're doing the stream here, but it's becoming one of my favorite maps. I love it so much. In the same way that we worked hard at kind of integrating a lot of opportunities for jump scares into the killer gameplay, their team really wanted to make sure that they did the same when it comes to things like Easter eggs and scares around the map. So it really pays off if you're kind of an exploratory player a little bit.
Amazing. So are there some areas that you want to shout out that Five Nights at Freddy's fans might recognize?
Yeah, I mean, there's going to be a lot. You'll see a lot of small references and stuff, but obviously we've recreated a lot of kind of the iconic areas from the game. But we're also letting you exit the pizzeria to explore the outside a little bit, which is really cool. And we wanted to kind of add a little bit more space to allow for more dynamic chases and whatnot.
Yeah.
But for the rooms, we've got the lobby, we've got the dining hall, of course, with the full animatronic band on stage. It's very cool. And we have the arcade, which is, it's all very kind of creepily decorated, like a birthday party. And, we have areas like the kitchen and even the mechanical room, which is cool. And
we can see a little glimpse right there, too.
Yeah, so altogether, this should kind of feel like I guess a formerly working pizzeria. Yes. And, of course, since it's Dead by Daylight, the entity's weird pustules and deformations are everywhere to remind you exactly of where you still are. And
you're making a judgment call on those pustules there, Jay.
But if you're a Five Nights at Freddy's fan, I think you're really going to love the map. They've done a lot of really cool work.
Yeah, it's super fun. And it looks really good, too. The art team did knock it out of the park. But also with Springtrap wandering around, it's like a terror. And I think for Five Nights at Freddy's fans, like, whoop, you're going to be in familiar territory.
Yeah.
So one other nice thing that we did mention on the PAX broadcast, but I do want to mention it again, we're going to have a separate queue for this map specifically, which means you want to go to the game and you just want to check out the map, normally in the past, you'd be in the general rotation of maps and all that. Now you can go straight in just to the pizzeria without having to hope that you get there. So it's going to be its own queue when you join the game.
Yeah, and that's a feature that's going forward with any chapter with a new map.
Perfect.
You'll have a unique queue for that new map, which is really cool.
Perfect.
Nice.
Okay.
I've wanted that for
how
a
about some
while.
last tips?
Yeah.
Or at least
Survivors
having
and
a
for
higher
players.
odds of
Yeah,
getting
so
it.
for the killer as Springtrap, get used to the arc of the projectile. As I said, it's super unique compared to other projectile killers. We've done something that really allows you to kind of pull off some pretty gnarly trick shots. We've seen some really interesting ones on our internal playtest. It's been super fun. So test that out, get used to it, and take advantage of the jump scares.
Oh, yeah.
Especially if you're playing with your friends, hearing them shout in your ear is always a great time.
Yes.
But for survivors, take advantage of the cameras and the doors. It may seem a little unsafe because you can be interrupted or whatever, but they're really valuable tools if you get used to them and you use it to reveal the killer and kind of scoping out the area. You'll get more of an advantage out of them than I think you realize at first.
Heck yeah.
But yeah.
Well, Jay, thank you so much, as
Thank you.
always, for joining us on the couch with your wonderful work and the fun stuff that you've planted in there. Soon enough, people will get to play around with it. I know you're
Yeah.
going to be glued to your Twitch screen so you
Oh,
can watch
yes.
people play it and test it out. Thank you so much for joining us. The show must roll on. So next, we're going to bring out our friend Justin Banks to fill you in on DBD's anniversary event that's right around the corner.
Bye, everybody.
Spring Chap sounds interesting. Can't wait to see him. I want to see what that projectile looks like.
Okay, so one of, oh my God, my throat. I died. But one of the best things for Dead by Daylight that makes me really excited around this time of year is that there's always something to celebrate. And this year is no different. Because not only are we welcoming in Five Nights at Freddy's to the Fog, but also our anniversary event is right around the corner. So what better way to party and welcome back the anniversary event and get ourselves nice and warm by the fire than with Justin Banks?
Thank you, Dork. I'm really happy to be back with all you guys out there. It's another masquerade, another year where they dust me off, take me out of the locker, and get ready to talk to you guys about what is happening for this year's masquerade.
Yeah, and I'm super excited to hear how we're going to be partying it up in this this year's anniversary event.
Yeah, so there's lots of stuff going on, and it's a special one because, as I think you saw by the title just before, after 4 years, this is going to be our final masquerade. We have lots of laughs, lots of fun, and the response to all of the gameplay, the cosmetics, the aesthetics have all been incredible since we got this party started. So our final masquerade event is actually going to start in about a month and run from June 25th to July 16th. While we're sad to see it go, I mean, it was a really, really fun theme that we worked on internally. We've had a gas working on it every single year, but we're going to close out with one last big hurrah before moving on to something completely brand new for our 10th anniversary next year. So I don't want to hype, I don't want to tease, but come back a year from now and we're going to have something really special for you.
I'm really excited to see what we come up with. But also, when in terms of actual gameplay, when we're talking about the return of Twisted Masquerade, is it true that the team decided to work on fine-tuning what we've currently got instead of adding new things to the whole shebang?
Yeah, exactly. So there's a few things that we're doing to really focus on the quality of life of the game overall. So you've seen, all of you guys out there, I don't even know which camera I'm looking at, that one. All of you guys out there, you've all seen how we are pushing for quality of life. We want to make sure that it's the game that, it's the game you guys deserve. You've stuck with us for such a long time. We're fixing long-standing bugs. We're adding features to just improve your overall experience. And we want that to translate to how we deal with events as well. So we made the decision to focus a lot of our resources on that quality of life and less so on adding to new gameplay features for this final Twisted Masquerade event.
Okay, so in terms of that then, what can players expect to see returning to the Fog with this Twisted Masquerade?
So returning, well, I can just summarize by saying all the really cool stuff that we've done before. Again, it's fun to work on this stuff year after year. So what we have coming back are the invitation powers that are super fun that you can collect as Survivor or Killer, and you'll have different powers to use their charges for as the match goes on. We are bringing back the Bag of Tricks that we introduced last year, which creates a random effect on the match, that happens based on the progression of completing generators, accumulated with whatever hook stages are at, to really keep things dynamic, keep it moving. We're also bringing back Father Campbell's Chapel, decorated, for the entire party, and it's still all the same decorations as last year, but we're signaling the party's coming to an end over there. Yeah, and we'll even have a little bit of Five Nights at Freddy's theming showing up in our anniversary lobby.
Okay, I love the fact that the lobby is going to be like a party in more ways than one.
Yeah.
Plus all the returning content. I mean, what's not to love there? I cannot wait to get my hands on my invitation just to cause ruckus. So when you're talking about the quality of life, though, are the players going to be able to experience that in the gameplay with Twisted Masquerade this year?
Absolutely. So when we were looking at how quality of life applies to, let's say, the game as a whole, we're saying, well, there are some elements of events that could work better for a better player experience. So while by and large everything from the event was really well received, we know people enjoy the invitation powers, the Bag of Tricks, etc., there was one big friction point from last year that we wanted to fix, which was the remote hook power for the invitations. So we've tweaked that a little bit just to apply some quality of life to this event itself, to make sure that as a killer is using it, it's no longer instant. You can't just look at a hook and bam, the survivor goes there.
Okay.
Now what will happen is the survivor has to look at a hook, they'll hold a button for a period of time, and then the survivor will be teleported. And it will also be obvious that the killer is doing this so the survivors have time for their counterplay to make them drop their partner. Okay. So we're really hoping that creates some more friendly gameplay, some less abusive elements, and just an overall much better party for everyone to play through.
It's going to be great. I'm really excited for that, yeah.
So in addition to that, last year we pulled back the curtain on our host of the anniversary that we've shown around in quite a few assets. We showed off last year in a lot of ways. Our darling Trix. So since this is the last Masquerade, her presence is going to be a little less felt, so you won't hear her or see her as often. And then she'll just be, with the Masquerade, fading away into the fog, you could say.
Oh, that's really sad that we're going to see her fading away, but I understand. At least we get to enjoy her while we still have her.
Yep.
So with this being the last hurrah, what does this mean for the Twisted Masquerade rewards and outfits?
So this is probably one of my favorite parts to talk about, because when we see these concepts every year, it's amazing. These are so creative and fun to work on. So we wanted to use our final Twisted Masquerade as a way to catch up on all original characters who did not previously have a mask or outfit.
Okay.
So what you would see here is that we are adding masks for any survivors that are originals that did not previously have a mask. So we've got one for Vittorio, Jake, Tori, Sable, Claudette, and Orella. And then on the killer side, we only had one that's missing a mask, so we have a mask for Houndmaster. And then, well, we have to supplement that to keep 6 collectible pieces per roll. is 5 killer anniversary weapons that look amazing. So for that, we've got one for Trapper, Nurse, Huntress, Doctor, and Spirit.
I cannot wait to get my hands on that Spirit one.
Yeah,
So
oh
that
my God,
Spirit one
they all
looks
look
cool.
so damn good.
So good.
And we've not left out 2 other characters because those are going to get the fully earnable outfits
Okay.
from the event. So we've got David King and the Wraith. So fully decked out, ready to celebrate the
Nice.
party. So with that, we're catching up on all of our original characters, making sure that everyone is able to dress for the party for our final masquerade, which I think is really cool.
It's super cool.
And one thing that we've started to do over the past few years is introduce what I'm calling guests to the party.
Okay.
So some licensed characters who are getting outfits. Now, I don't want to spoil anything, so stay tuned for Hollis's section after, as he shows you who is guest starring at the party.
Okay. And hopefully they've rolled a nat 20 on style.
Oh, maybe a spoiler there.
Okay, so I know a lot of people are going to be thinking about this, myself included. I'm very curious. So when it comes to the time-limited Twisted Masquerade collection and the items, what happens?
So, as we've done for events and event collections in the past, like this one, we have it only available during the period of the event, and then when the event happens again next year, all of the previous iterations come back in the store. Since this is the last Masquerade, what we're doing is going to be a little different. We have to adapt because we don't want these to fade away forever. So we are tentatively planning for these to come back in the store permanently at a certain point in the future, but I can't give specifics exactly when that is going to be.
Okay.
So when this Masquerade ends, everything will disappear. And when we know when they are coming back, we are certainly going to be communicating on it. So players can be aware and they know when they can come back and get any masks they missed, or if they joined us later, come in and pick them up then.
That's going to be awesome, especially because like this time of year anniversary is like a huge thing for our community. So this is a huge win, I know. But also, aren't we doing something else to make this a little bit more special?
Absolutely. So I was talking about how we want to make sure all of our originals have masks or outfits to celebrate the party. But we want to make sure that all of our players have access to all of these originals too to celebrate with. So what we're doing is we're putting all of our original characters on free trial for the entire duration of the event. So if
that's
there's
cool.
a survivor, a killer that you've not ever played before, you've been interested about, pick them up, play them in the normal queue, play them in the event queue, really go nuts. And then if you actually want to keep them, we're going to have some really sick sales going on. So get them at a really nice price and keep celebrating with them.
Well, that's awesome, Justin. Thank you so much for giving us the full rundown on the anniversary event and the Twisted Masquerade. It's so sad to hear that it's going to be going soon, but we're going to keep it together.
It's going to go out with a bang.
At least we have that, right? At least we have that. All right, so next up, joining me on the couch is going to be a new face to the stream. So please join me in the chat with a warm welcome for Hollis, who's going to be giving us a full rundown on the latest collections that'll be rolling into the fog.
Okay, I'm gonna be back in a second here. I just have to quickly do something. I'll be back in like a minute or two.
Teleport. I thought I was gonna hit that. Oh, it goes through. I'd survive this drop, right? The answer was no. I would not survive that drop. Oh my god, yeah. I need to take care of those white guys. Let's do so much damage.
Egg Goo Spoo Roshan. If this misses, I am going to be so mad. I want to taste the speedy salt. Also give speedy head pats.
This is fine. This is great. DBD community, I'm sorry that the very first killer that I got adept on is Skull Merchant. I apologize. I hate this tree so much. Oh, that is a big slime. It's so fast. Why is it so fast? Okay. Gee.
What a nice village. A shame if you damaged it.
Damn it, gun. Oh. I am back. So I feel like the Masquerade anniversary event there kind of got sacrificed for the quality of life updates. Because I feel like they had a lot more planned for it, or they were going to do the new thing, but they kind of scrapped it. And then they're like, well, let's just do what we did last year and kind of do quality of life to that.
It is upcoming collections time, and you know I love talking about collections, and here with me to talk about them
I think they
is
said like
a new
June
face,
23rd.
our senior live specialist, operations specialist, Hollis, to give us the full rundown on everything that's going to be coming to the Dead by Daylight in-game store in the next couple of months. So welcome to the stream.
Thank you.
So Hollis, how about you go ahead and give us a rundown about your role real quick?
Yeah, so my day-to-day consists mostly of scheduling and setting things up for the in-game store. So stuff you would see like the collection banners, featured outfits, the bundles, weekly gifts, sales, stuff like that. I've also worked on a few of the collections you guys may have seen in the store. So Autumn Fashion, Chrysalis, Noir, Horrors from the Deep, and the Forgotten Myth collection. And on that note, speaking of content creation, I am sort of moving further in that direction as I'll be the person heading up charms and player cards going forward.
Okay. Speaking of player cards, that was actually one thing we missed to talk about in our last segment. I was just sitting down with Justin, where we're going to have badges and banners coming in as other things in the event. I'm super excited. But also, thank you for the Chrysalis collection. Oh my God, I'm a huge Chrysalis fan. But with all of that said, like I said, I just sat down with Justin and they gave us a full rundown about the Twisted Masquerade when it comes to in-game earnables, but what can you tell us about what's going to happen store side?
Yeah, so just mentioned we have some really cool exclusive event rewards. We also have some exclusive store rewards for Twisted Masquerade.
Okay.
This time around we have some outfits for the Lich, Vecna, who's wearing his Masquerade Lich outfit, as well as Baemar, who is wearing his Masquerade musician outfit. And man, I wish I could grow a mustache like that.
It's magnificent.
Oh, it's beautiful. Plus, as always, all the masks and outfits from previous years will also be returning to the store. You'll even be able to find a few select masks and bundles for Killer and Survivor. And for anyone who may have missed Twisted Masquerade last year, we'll also have a bundle with rewards from that. So the Unknown outfit, the player cards, and the charms. And all that will be available in the store on June 25th with the start of the event.
Okay, so is there going to be any like fantastic sales happening as well?
There might be. So we're going to be doing 30% off almost everything in the store for outfits released before the Five Nights at Freddy's chapter.
Okay.
On top of that, we'll be doing 25 to 50% off almost all the characters. And as Justin mentioned, if you find a character you like during the free trials, it's a great time to pick them up and add them to your roster.
Okay. All right. So, and as obviously, we kind of touched on it. Brace yourself. This is a bit emotional. But after this, the party will be over. It'll be our. I
miss
know.
it so
I know. Let's keep it together.
Tricks, don't leave me.
Let's keep it together. But we're going to be okay because before we close the curtain, we've got other things happening right before, right?
That's correct. On June 17th, we have our highly anticipated Five Nights at Freddy's chapter releasing, and along with it, the Five Nights at Freddy's collection. Now, as you know, Dave and Matt already revealed one of the outfits at PAX, but we got a few more to show off today that no one's seen quite yet.
Okay.
But in case you did miss PAX, first of all, what are you doing?
Yeah, what are you doing?
Second of all, you would have saw that we revealed our Yellow Rabbit legendary outfit for our new killer, Springtrap. This is an incredible outfit from the Five Nights at Freddy's movie that features the likeness of Matthew Lillard, who played William Afton on screen before the Springlock accident that really turns him into Springtrap. Now, this outfit has original voiceover from Matthew Lillard that was recorded just for Dead by Daylight, as well as some special voiceover and animations in the lobby.
Okay, I cannot wait to get my hands on that. But are there going to be other versions of Springtrap coming into the fog as well?
There is. We also have a Glitch Trap, a legendary outfit for Springtrap. Now, Glitch Trap first appeared in Five Nights at Freddy's Help Wanted and its sequel, Help Wanted 2, where he played a very crucial role in the story. So it's amazing to have him as part of this collection. And as an added bonus, for both legendary outfits, when you unlock them, you'll receive a portrait badge of those characters as well. So a Glitch Trap portrait badge for Glitch Trap, and a Yellow Rabbit portrait with Matthew Lillard's likeness when you buy that as well. We also have two very rare outfits for Springtrap, which are both taken from
Purple Guy.
Special Delivery, the mobile AR game, which are Clown Springtrap and Toxic Springtrap. Now, Clown Springtrap is pulled pretty much straight from
that
the
looks
game,
cool.
looking just like fans will remember him. But we put our own twist on Toxic Springtrap to really make him our own. But that's not all. For the survivors out there who want to show their love for FNAF, there will be Freddy Fazbear's t-shirts available for all original survivors. You can buy them individually or bundled together at a discount.
That's going to be great. I mean, I love like the shirts especially because it gives them this nice, cool, casual look. And I think because of that, it's why I love the next collection you're going to be talking about.
Casual is a great way to describe it because this outfit, this collection is simply called the Casual Collection. And as the name implies, it focuses on streetwear and casual clothing, letting us add more variety to characters who've kind of been stuck with one look in the past. So, for example, a guy like Gabriel, who's often portrayed in space-themed outfits, we finally gave him something more casual to show a different side of his character.
Looks so good.
He's a handsome man, isn't he?
Handsome man.
Handsome. On top of Gabriel, we also have outfits for Tori, who will be taking a break from her cult robes.
That looks so good.
One I know you're very excited about, which is Talita, who
That
is
looks
getting
cool.
some pants and escaping her shorts and skirt purgatory that she was in for a bit there.
Talita mentioned, yes, pants.
Thank you, Eric. We love pants.
Pants.
Chat, spam pants emotes.
Yeah.
I don't know if those exist. And finally, we have an outfit for Hattie as well. And this collection will be hitting the store on July 2nd, right at the start of summer.
I cannot wait. Obviously, I'm very excited for pants.
Pants.
Pants. But with that,
Can you get some
especially
pants in the
because,
chat?
With the pants, I get to be nice and comfortable while I'm hanging on the hook. I mean, I'm gonna be there anyway, so I might as well be comfortable, right?
It'd also be awkward if you were on the hook with no pants.
Yeah, that would be pretty bad, Hollis. But we also want the killers to be nice and comfortable as well while they're slaying and putting people on hooks, which reminds me why we're bringing up the Boulet Brothers collection, which will be joining the fog on July 8th. Coming in with a very rare for the Huntress and a legendary for the Artist.
That's right. And since the artist outfit is a legendary outfit inspired by the Boulet Brothers themselves, buying that one will get you an exclusive Boulet Brothers themed portrait badge.
Yes, can't. Oh, I'm so excited. So excited to get my hands on that.
Sneak preview.
Sneak. Well, I mean, this is the best segue because we're going to be talking about a fan favorite returning.
Yes, that is right. The Waterfront Massacre Collection is back. And for anyone out there who doesn't know what the Waterfront Massacre Collection is basically Day at the Beach gone terribly, horribly wrong for our characters. This time around, we have outfits for Elodie, Aurella, Ace, and the Xenomorph. So Elodie and Aurella are both getting some sun and nice beach wear we thought each of them would enjoy. And then there's Ace, who is doing the same, but in a more classic Ace fashion. And his outfit is something special.
It's very special.
He's rocking a leopard print Speedo and what seems to be a very short robe. And don't worry, to all the people out there, I can hear you typing in chat. I can confirm this outfit is mix and match. So you can go ahead and make those Speedos a part of whatever outfit you like. If you want to put it with the top hat from the Alice in Wonderland
Stick
collection,
on Hug
you can.
collection.
We're not going to stop you. That's called fashion. Finally, we worked closely with 20th Century Games on our take of an aquatic xenomorph. It's inspired by kind of an anglerfish look, and we're really happy with how it turned out. It's very creepy, very cool, and honestly would not want to run with that while swimming.
Yeah, absolutely not.
And you can expect the Waterfront Massacre Collection, as well as Ace's Speedo, to be available in the store on July 16th.
I already know a very distinct group of people that were playing nothing but Ace Visconti during 2v8, and they're going to be wearing the hell out of that Speedo.
So these collections, we have Pants Gang and No Pants Gang now.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, choose your size. But thank you so much for joining me on the couch to talk about all the latest collections that'll be coming into the Fog. I'm super excited, and it was great to have you, Hollis.
Oh, thank you for having me. This was so much fun.
It was so much fun. So next, I'm going to be on the couch here with Eric for all of our Dead by Daylight creators out there to talk about the Creator Program. So stay tuned.
We're back. How about them pants?
If there was no sound effect, that would be so funny.
Yeah. New stream capabilities, the technology is amazing. Just a quick note, I did see people, they thirsting for whatever the Hattie cosmetic is. We just didn't have an image for it, I'm sorry. So please just stay tuned a little longer. It's great. All right, now we're gonna talk about the Creator Program. So, at PAX a few weeks ago, as we've said a couple times, we did a big stream there. We did mention there's a new Creator Program on the horizon with more details on the next stream, which is this stream. So let's do that. It's today, so we've got more details to share. So, the current Creator Program, as you probably know, is called the Fog Whisperers. They're an amazing group of people that I've gotten to meet a bunch of now. Very thankful for that. They're awesome. They're content creators on all things Dead by Daylight, and it's while many of those relationships are going to continue for sure, it's also time that we're going to open the door to new folks. This is something we've heard a lot of. How can I get into the program? So that's what we're going to start doing. So for starters, we're actually going to retire the name Fog Whisperers. So that crew remains in the stratosphere as the Fog Whisperer Pantheon. And we're rebranding it as the Dead by Daylight Creator Program. Yes.
Yes, but don't worry, for anyone wondering, most Fog Whisperers are still staying on with us as pillars of our new creator group. So do not worry about that. And on top of the new name, actually, the goal of our Creator Program is to make partnering with Dead by Daylight even easier and better for the creators involved. We're expanding the benefits attached to working with us, and we'll be welcoming an even wider range of personalities and content focused on the game. So if you're a creator and you've always wanted to work with Dead by Daylight, now is the time to make that happen.
Yes, so some benefits that we're being explicit about that Dork mentioned include opportunities like access to live events, like PAX we were just at, giveaways for your communities, and new ways to engage with the game, like getting regular updates on major releases before anyone else gets those updates, early access opportunities to stream and capture content, and even be featured in our content, like on streams like today. So we're going to be testing out something other than that, which is really cool because I get to work directly on it, called Support a Creator Program. It's a program within a program, I suppose. But your support a creator has become kind of a industry standard thing you might be familiar with. It's a chance for you as the community of a streamer or YouTuber or whatever, to support your favorite creator with your purchases in the game. You don't need to pay any extra, but you put in their creator code and they get a cut of the Oryx cells that you're buying in Dead by Daylight. So we're gonna do a little pilot of that, see how it goes. If it goes well, we do hope to roll it out wider and larger.
Interesting.
So, oh yes, it wouldn't be a creator subject without Twitch shirts.
We got to talk about Twitch shirts.
Whew, Twitch shirts. I wake up in the middle of the night thinking of Twitch shirts.
Hot sweats.
Hot sweats. Well, that's just me anyway. Okay, so Twitch shirts. Twitch shirts has become a big thing, as you know. It was never meant to become a big thing, but also wasn't well defined. How do I get them? Why does that person get them? I don't get them. And I think those are totally fair questions. And actually, we wanted to tie it to the launch of this new creator program, so it was very clear. Here's the guidelines to get into the creator program. You get into the creator program, you get a Twitch shirt. So that's the new way of getting the Twitch shirts. The old throwing them out randomly method has been retired for now, at least. So
Rip,
if you get into the new creator
my
program,
shirt
you
my
will be
survivor.
rewarded with a lot of things, but also a Twitch
Get some
shirt.
F's in the chat.
So I think there's a note on that. So we're going to be granting the upcoming Twitch shirts for our next original Survivor to the creator program folks, and anyone who already has Twitch shirts, you get to hold on to the ones you have, but we won't continue to build your Twitch shirt collection. You gotta
Oh,
get into
back
the
in one
creator
sec here.
Yes.
One sec.
So if you're interested.
Teleport. I thought I was gonna hit that. Oh, it goes through. I'd survive this drop, right? The answer was no. I would not survive that drop.
Sorry about that. I am
the
back.
program, you will be rewarded with a lot of things, but also a Twitch shirt. So I think there's a note on that. So we're going to be granting the upcoming Twitch shirts for our next original Survivor to the creator program folks, and anyone who already has Twitch shirts, you get to hold on to the ones you have, but we won't continue to build your Twitch shirt collection. You got to get into the creator program.
Yes, so if you're interested in adding your voice to our community of creators, our new Dead by Daylight creator program website is now live, where you can go ahead and read the code of conduct and find out how you can go ahead and fill the form to apply to get yourself submitted into the program. So the link should already be pinned in chat.
Yep, and our creator team, which is kind of a sister team to our team, it's not us, they're going to be at TwitchCon EU, that's short for Europe, and just from May 31st to June 1st in Rotterdam. So you can go chat with them in person and get more details, make sure you know that they become aware of you. What does that
Introduce
mean? What a
yourself.
weird, thank you, English. I've just learned English. But also a really cool thing we're doing at that TwitchCon is sponsoring the Horror Games Community Meetup. We attended it last year at TwitchCon North America. It was super dope. I got to go and meet a bunch of you cool creators. But now it's sponsored by Dead by Daylight, which is kind of fitting, so you can go and enjoy that and meet some of the team there. Okay, enough about creators. Let's answer some questions from the community. Let's do a Q&A. Nope, sorry. One more thing we're going to do. We're going to talk about the stats tracker I mentioned at the top of the show.
Yes, the stats.
Right? Right?
It's a live stream, folks. It's a live
I'm
stream.
going insane.
In a couple of weeks, we're going to be debuting a new feature that you guys have been asking for a long time, which is the official Dead by Daylight stats tracker. So for anyone who knows the game, a lot can happen over the course of a trial. You can boon a totem, get hooked. You could get a pallet stun, get hooked. You know, there plenty of things happen.
Including getting hooked?
And so, yeah,
Okay.
especially. So players have always wanted to know more information about their matches, and this website is going to be the key to getting you that information.
And what I should have done at the start of this, Emil, get ready. I should have said stats tracker and then air horn. So I'm going to try it. Stats tracker! Yep. Yes. We're in the 21st century. Stats are being tracked as far back as September 1st, 2020. That's just a limitation on the data that we have. So we're going back to September 1st, 2020. So you'll be able to see your own personal journey in Dead by Daylight. A random person just walked in the room. And all your milestones over that time. The team has been looking at it, actually approaching it like a fitness app, which I think is a cool approach for killers and survivors, which I think would keep you fit, actually, if you're one of those things.
Well, I mean, survivors run all the time.
Yes, yes. So it should be a fun way to track your personal progress.
Yeah. The Stats Tracker website is going to launch on June 17th, and you'll be able to access it either on desktop or mobile. So it's super simple to use, and all you'll need is a behavior account with at least one platform you play Dead by Daylight linked with it. You can also link multiple platforms with cross progression and combine all your stats from wherever you play the game. There's the general statistics page at the start where you can see your global stats like hours played, specific play time and matches, total matches, and more. You can also switch between the main stats for killer and survivor.
Yes, select one and you'll be able to see things like who your most played characters are, who your top characters are for each role. You can dive
so
in
cool.
each character and dig into details like emblems, average blood points earned, and even more than that.
Yeah, so we'll also be showing you super useful details like what your top perks were, both in terms of your pick rate, your kill or escape rate. You can also see which perks really drive the most success for you and the way you play the game.
Yep, and a few more things you might be wondering about.
I am so excited for
will
that.
be super current. So meaning your match history will update almost immediately after a match is finished in the game. So stats also refresh every 24 hours, meaning where to go. Yeah. If you link a new platform, which some people may be doing, it could take up to 24 hours before you start seeing those platform stats in the tool. And finally, it could change in the future too. This is a first iteration, as with most of the things we put out. First iteration, and we build on it. It's going to focus on 1v4 matches and major seasonal events like Blood Moon, Anniversary, Halloween, and the winter event. And as of now, custom matches won't be counted in your stats, but we're going to be looking at adding limited time events like Lights Out, Chaos Shuffle, and even 2v8 in the future down the road.
I can't wait with Chaos Shuffle for it to tell me how many times I got no mither. I would love that. And like with everything we do here at Dead by Daylight, the stats tracker is something where, as Eric said, we're going to be building on. So there's already a ton in there that we wanted to make sure that is available for players. But if there's anything you want to see added, feel free to let us know on socials so that we can let the team know and see about updating it for the future.
So keep an eye out for more info. We're very close to that release. It's actually going to release alongside this chapter, which is scheduled for June 17th of this year, by the way. So a couple weeks. So only a couple of weeks away. And as I tried to transition to
wait all the way till
before,
June
why don't we do
27th.
a Q&A?
So Q&A.
Yeah, let's jump to it. I don't know if we have. Do we have a card thing? We got 2 minutes. Oh, okay. We're close to PTB time, so we're going to zoom. Okay. We have 2 live streams in 1 month. Five Nights at Freddy's Anniversary. We know you've got. Oh, Jesus. Sorry, I'm reading what was written for me. So, okay, here's the actual question. There have been complaints about cheats and hackers in the game at the moment. Is there something you can say about how you're addressing this?
The war against cheaters and hackers is a long-standing one, and that's for sure. And while it will always be there, there are definitely steps that we are taking to resolve this as much as possible. So during the upcoming months, you can expect to receive clearer game rules, a code of conduct, and regular updates on our war against cheaters, as well as strengthening our anti-cheat protocols. That's not all that we're doing, of course, but there will will also be other things that we can't discuss. As we get more and closer to that, we'll be giving you more information on, and we don't want to be giving cheaters and hackers, roundabouts for our protocols.
Yeah, we can't give them that peek behind the curtain.
Yeah.
Cheaters are losers. Yesterday, the developer update went live explaining the Go Next prevention. How does this affect survivor perks that allow you to get off the hook? And how will the feature prevent survivors leaving the game early, abandoning their teammates?
So Go Next, otherwise known as giving up on the hook early in the match. Firstly, it ruins the match for everyone involved on the survivor team and the killers, because sometimes they have things that they've got to do too. So frustration around this has been very high as of late, and with the test happening in the PTB, the chance to get off the hook early in the match will be removed unless you have perks or offerings that affect this. Deliverance and Wicked will stay the same, and their activation conditions have not changed. For example, playing for the hatch, so when 2 survivors are left and the survivor that is hooked will try to allow themselves to die faster so that the other person
Yeah, I'm
gets a
really
hatch.
excited about this update.
That still
Tachi.
going to happen in the game as well.
All right. With the bulk spending option, so another awesome quality of life feature coming with this release, will we be allowed to choose what items that we can spend our BP on?
So in this iteration, you could actually choose how many levels you'll want to spend your blood points on. So you can't currently choose that very specifically. And it's going to be done automatically, and you will receive a pop-up that shows what was purchased after it's completed, and it's going to be very quick. So we will monitor the feedback on this and see how it performs, and then we'll make some changes moving forward.
Oh, this one's for me. What is Eric's favorite animatronic? So people who follow me might remember I put up a picture that my son drew that I thought was Shrek. And then I posted it, and people were like, "That's Springtrap, idiot!" And then everyone speculated Springtrap was coming to the game, which at the time I had zero knowledge of. But because of that, Springtrap for sure is my favorite animatronic because I lived through some stuff with that. Do you have a favorite?
Yeah, I think for me it would have to be Freddy Fazbear.
Oh yeah, the classic.
Gotta go to the classic.
Okay, are you going to continue with the quality of life, in particular the anti-slugging fix?
We are definitely continuing with the quality of life features that we advertised earlier this year, so don't worry about that. With this PTB, we'll be focusing on the Go Next feature, bulk blood point spending, and extreme hiding. Then, in the upcoming releases, we'll be focusing on phase 2 of the plan, so more information will be available as we head closer to that phase. But rest assured, this is still a very large focus for us. This is very important, and we want to be very careful with making sure we're addressing issues in the correct way the first time.
Final question, where is Maurice? If you're new to the game, Maurice is our beloved horse who happens to have 3 eyes and drips blood.
Yeah.
He's been missing from the game for a few weeks. And I think now is the time to let people know.
Yeah, let me know.
He took a vacation to Japan. I'm serious.
Without me?
Without you, without me, pretty selfish.
Yeah.
If you want a glimpse into his adventure in Japan, you got to play that new Assassin's Creed game.
Oh.
Yeah, Shadows.
Ooh, collab.
That's all I'm going to say. Go find out for yourself. Maurice will return soon, I hope.
Please, come back.
So, that's it. You've listened to us yammer long enough. I don't
Lucky
have the time,
Maurice.
but I believe we're already past time, so PTB should already be rolling out. Thank you for joining us for our 5 Nights at Freddy's official stream, and we hope you're as excited about the chapter as we are.
Yes, and from all of the requests, we know you probably are. So thank you so much for sitting here with us, and now it's time for you to go and play the live PTB and test drive Springtrap for the first time.
We've got tons more of amazing content coming your way this year, and the anniversary is also just around the corner, so stay tuned for good stuff to come. And creators, we hope to hear from you soon.
Yes, so thank you everyone for the welcome back to stream messages on Twitter. This is a live stream,
Yes.
dang it. But we will be rolling out into the fog now, so you stay safe out there. Good luck in hiding and hunting.
And let's get one more air horn right now. Thank you, everybody. Have fun.
Bye. Oh my God.
There we go. Just gonna look up the DBD Creator Program here and see what we need to do for it. Alright, so the first one, have 10,000 plus followers on at least one of these applicable platforms. Twitch, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, and Twitter. So chat, I need you guys to grab me another 9,205 followers. I'm sure you guys can get on that pretty quickly there. Streamers stream Dead by Daylight for at least 20 hours per month. I think I pretty much do that. I think I do like 5 hours once a week, 4 weeks in a month. That gets us to 20. So I'll promise you guys, if you guys can get me to the creator program, I will stream DBD for at least 20 hours every week. Pinky promise. Video creators create at least 2 long form, 8 minutes plus, or 8 short form, at least 3 minutes long of Dead by Daylight videos per month. I can also try to do that as well. Tachi, if you guys can get me to the 10,000 followers, I will do more DBD streams and more DBD videos. I have a few special things that I've been slowly working on in the background for DBD. Can't really discuss any of it right now. But I do have some plans for DBD, hopefully this year, if not early next year. So, yeah. Let's see if there was information on... Yeah, this is what I was looking for. So there's your Twitch drops, by the way, everyone. So if you're watching this, you're adding up to the Twitch drops. But if you do really want to support the channel, you know, make this a welcoming area when new people come in. Encourage people to follow, encourage people to tell their friends, tell their family, tell their enemies, tell them to come over here, follow. Watch me die over and over in DBD. Also, because Twitch is very hard to get people to join just naturally. The best way to get more people to the Twitch channel would be through YouTube. So watching my YouTube videos, liking them, commenting on them. Biggest thing is watching them all the way through. That's the biggest thing that helps the algorithm, is watching it all the way through. Even if you just have it off to the side and it plays in the background kind of thing. Have it as like making dinner content and whatnot. It's a good way to get it on the YouTube algorithm, which then in turn, when people see it on YouTube, will move over to Twitch. But yeah, like I said, I've got a couple special things, hopefully in the future, that we'll be doing on DBD. So stay tuned to that. Like I said, that'll probably be like late summer, winter kind of time. Fall. Just depends on other people, we'll say. Working with some other people on it, so we're just trying to figure out timing and everything for all that. You mean Gunhog? No, not Gunhog. Other streamers, let's put it that way. Been working on a collaboration thing with some other streamers, so we're just trying to figure out when that will all go through. I haven't talked to Mexi about it at all. I don't think I've talked to A-Raider about it either. I might briefly talked about it with A-Raider a long time ago, but it's other more relevant streamers. Spooky Loops is probably too big. I mean, if Spooky Loops is interested, I'd totally be down to having Spooky Loops because I'm pretty sure he'd enjoy it. He probably would enjoy like what we're planning on doing. That would be cool. Spooky Loops is such a bro. With all that, though, I am going to have to end stream off here. But don't worry, this isn't your daily dose of Shadow Speedy, because we will be streaming later on tonight. You get any of your Twitch drops? Well, Tasha, you can get them tomorrow, because we'll be doing some DBD tomorrow. I'm also going to put up a poll on my Discord, !Discord. Should I do the PTB? I've never done the PTB before. For our DBD day tomorrow. But just to let everyone know, this isn't the only stream you're going to get of Shadow Speedy today. This is just a special bonus stream. We still have chat-controlled Minecraft tonight. That'll be in about... What time is it? 4... It'll be about 4 hours from now. 4.5 hours from now, we'll be doing some chat-controlled Minecraft. So feel free to join us in with that. Hit the follow button if you haven't already. Hit the follow button to get notified when that comes up. For those that do not know, chat-controlled Minecraft is when you chat get to control how Minecraft goes. So you can help me out by giving me wood, iron, diamonds, or you can be like 99% of Twitch chat and just give me zombies, creepers, and ender dragons. Up to you. But that'll be happening later tonight, in about 4-ish hours, 4.5 hours. And then tomorrow we will be doing some DBD. Like I said, I'll put up a poll on Discord to see if people want to want me to do the PTB or if they want me just to do regular DBD. But that will be tomorrow. So again, thank you everyone for showing up. I really do appreciate it. And I will see everyone later tonight. Bye, everyone.